Our first float comes to us from the continent of South America. The countries of Chile and Brazil can be seen with the beach on our float. An airport represents the country of Venezuela. And Argentina is shown by the national dog, Argentino Dogo, a very large white hunting dog. And there's also an adobe house on a mountain cliff that represents Argentina. The penguins that you can see on our first float represent the Magellanic penguins, or Magellanic penguins, that can be found on Magdalena Island in Chile, the largest population of penguins in South America. Our second float represents the continent of Asia and the countries of Iran, Mongolia, Turkey, and Japan. We have a Japanese garden and a fishing dock, a mosque to represent the country of Iran, and a tower that represents Mongolia. It's called the Blue Sky Tower. There's a horse that also represents Mongolia because horseback riding is one of the primary means of transportation in the country of Mongolia. The goat tells us a little bit about the country of Turkey, since it is a very common household pet. We also have a fountain that can be found from the country of Turkey. Our third float in our parade is representing the continent of Europe. We have a castle on our float that represents the country of Germany. There is also a picture, very small, but a picture of Leonardo da Vinci and a famous painting called Mona Lisa, and they represent the country of Italy. France can also be seen on the first float by the Eiffel Tower, and you can also see the German flag. Spain has the running of the bulls and is represented by a picture of the running of the bulls on the float. The fourth float in our parade comes from the continent of Africa and the countries of Congo, Uganda, Niger, and Zambia. You can see flags from Congo, Niger, and Zambia. In addition, there's a jungle that represents the rainforest of Niger. Plants and bushes are meant to represent all the plants found in Congo, Uganda, and there's animals from Zambia that can be seen like the impala and the lion. There's also blue that represents the rivers, and the very famous Victoria Falls from Zambia, the largest falls in the world, can also be seen. The fifth float in our parade represents the continent of Africa. We have gray and black mountains to represent the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. The castle represents castles that can be found in both Morocco and Madagascar. The gray and white mountains on the float are supposed to represent Mount Bromopotro in Madagascar. Also, you can see blue to represent the Nile River, which runs through much of Africa. The pyramids, and it's the longest river in the world. The pyramids and Sphinx are meant to represent the country of Egypt. The forest represents the rainforests and jungles found in Cameroon, Madagascar, Morocco, and Egypt. Also, there is a factory building that represents a textile factory, that means it makes cloth, in the country of Cameroon. There is also the Renamafana National Park from Madagascar that's represented on the float. The sixth float in our parade comes from the continent of North America and the continent of Australia. And it was built by me, the USA. You can see a tree that represents the redwood forest, some of the largest trees in the country, sheep and plants that represent farming in our heartland, and the flag of both Canada and Australia, and the United States. You can also see a wagon that represents the Oregon Trail, and two people in a video camera that represent the movie-making industry, and what else? Oh, and mountains that represent the Appalachian Mountains that run from the southern United States to Canada. Our seventh, what number are we on? 7? Represents the continent of Antarctica. It's represented with the AARI Arctic and Antarctic Research Institute. Scientists from many countries collaborate and work together there.